happy for it just being a special episode, a holiday episode. I don't know what the holiday is, but let's see. What's today's holiday?
Celebrating.
Today's holiday.
A week late St. Patrick's Day.
What is today?
King of the Ring.
National Spinach Day.
National Spinach Day.
Deadlift.
We did it, guys.
That's the first one that came up. So that's what I went with.
Isn't that what Popeye eats? And then he
Yeah. Buff up.
See, there we go. It's perfect.
In honor of Spinach Day, I have bought and brought. I can't. I'm done. Goodbye.
Every day this week.
Every day. Come back to my channel and see more. It's gonna be more of this. I invited and brought two lovely gentlemen to talk about their cool show, and I brought an amazing artist to tag along and make some art about the cool show. There, that's my intro. I did it.
Holy
Lost Limey,
smokes.
hello. It is a very special spinach episode.
Yep.
This is our special spinach episode.
You did it. So that these guys can get ready, I'll go ahead and take over for you, Swan.
Thanks.
On this very special episode. So hey, everybody of Swan's channel, all you Swananites, you Doodle Cruisers, or you old and dumbanites. I used knights twice, but that's fine.
I think it's Swan Burgers and Dipshits.
Oh,
That's
it is
good.
Swan Burgers and Dipshits.
It is Swan Burgers
It
and
is.
Dipshits.
That is a dive bar burger place that I would go to.
Welcome, everybody. We are doing another fun, let's call it segment, I guess. I don't know. But essentially, last time we did an episode on Doodle Crew, it was about drawing fun scenes from the Older and Dumber's Coralthea Waking Fates show that we do on Twitch and post on YouTube. Is our D&D
Every
live
Wednesday
play.
night.
We do.
Except for on Spinach Night.
Except for on Spinach Night. As you can tell, it is Wednesday night, and we're not currently streaming our campaign. It's because we switched to Sunday and decided to do a very special episode with Doodle Crew instead. We thought it would be a lot more fun. No, not more fun, but
I mean, more in the it is additional fun. It continues the fun, not that it is
Extra
a higher
fun.
amount of fun.
yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, how this works is each of our artists are going to roll a die, and it's going to correspond to a clip that is currently a part of our campaign. We're then going to watch that clip, and then that artist is going to depict that clip with art, which I believe all of the artists here today are all digital artists. All digital artists, see? And you get to watch.
Digitally.
You get to watch as it happens and all that good stuff. And then while they are doing their art, we can talk D&D. You can ask questions about the campaign. I can talk your guys' ears off. I can do whatever you want. And that's essentially it. That's how this night works. I think we can go ahead and maybe introduce yourselves. We'll start with our host, Swan.
Sure. Oh, I never go first. That's crazy. I'm Swan. You can find me all across the internet at a swan named Emily. That's where all my stuff is, and I'm going to make it really easy tonight. If you want to tell me what kind of stickers you want to see me make, go to Patreon, patreon.com/theswannamedeemily. There's a tier where you can get me to design stickers for you. I mean, we've got the Birds of Prey, which is two little bird cracker things praying, and we've got Gargle Knackle These Nuts. So really, this is the quality these content that I can offer you. Also, if you want to hear all of the insane number of podcasts that I guest on and do things, go to linktr.ee/join the clubs. That is the easiest place to find everything. I'm all over. I'm guesting everywhere. They can't get rid of me, and I won't.
So many.
Nice. And now, new friend, Vic.
I'm Vic at idstar across pretty much all of the internet. You can find me idstar.com or linktree/idstar. I'm a webcomic artist. You can read my webcomic of Destiny and Dragoons, which updates on Wednesday. That's right, it updated today, which is at dragoons.com. D&D inspired comic, which you can also buy in paper copy if you like paper. If physical things is your jam, there are books. And if you want to support that, you can support on my store, idstar.gumroad, and I have a Patreon that I have relaunched in recent times where for just $2 you can get early access to comic pages and some behind the scenes stuff, which is really cool because we're just about to enter a new scene, a location in the comic, so I can share some of the behind the scenes art that went into that coming up soon. So
Sweet.
Plus, possibly, I don't know, in the future, unnamed comic projects
Maybe.
Yeah.
And of course, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey.
Oh, hello. You probably have seen me on Doodle Crew before. You can
Possibly
find me
yesterday.
everywhere on the internet at Slooty Mage. I also host a real cool podcast with Hunter, the Older and Dumber podcast, and that is what spiraled into our D&D campaign, Coralthea Waking Fates, which you can see us normally playing on Wednesday nights. If you're watching live, it'll be Sunday on our Twitch channel this week, twitch.tv/Older and Dumber. Please come join us. It's a heck of a time. And I think we're finally gonna push the story along. I think maybe we've tamped down everybody's ADHD enough to actually hit a plot point.
The dream.
You know, it's coming along. And of course, there's me, the Weaver of Fates, the Teller of Tales, the Roller of Dice, the Doer of Voices, Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor. And of course, you can find all of our Older and Dumber stuff right here in this link that I believe is about to pop up somewhere. Or at least our YouTube. But anyway, no matter what, even if there isn't a link here, just search Older and Dumber on the internet. That's the letter N, not the word and you should be able to find us. But yeah, all of our cool stuff and everything we do. But without further ado, I think we just get right into it, huh?
One of these cool things, like I got
Oh yeah, that's the one of our prints.
shiny.
Yeah, it's got QR codes on the back, which
You'll be able to get one of those for free at Ithacon.
You will, and please scan the QR code.
Please use the QR code. We're still paying for it.
I got swindled into that. That was awful.
In there.
Oh, internet.
That was awful.
thanks.
Anyway, yeah. So how should we decide who is first?
Duel.
A duel. How about somebody
Left
in
my
chat?
Blue eyes, white dragon home.
Whoever's the first person to say one of the artists' names, they go first. See how fast your chat will
I
respond.
thought you were gonna roll dice for everything. Because
I
said we used the wheel.
no.
of
That's
fate.
just for that. We're trying to figure out who gets their first.
Lost
clip.
Lemmy wants us to knife
Ionics.
fight, so
Oh, first person to put a knife in chat. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think that one's blocked. Yay, choose violence. Ah,
Hey,
yay,
all
thanks,
right,
Roxy.
Swan.
I like that it was violence, violence, violence. I guess Swan?
All right, when you are ready, Swan, roll a d12 for me.
12.
I know. My glow dice. Where are they?
You better
Seven.
find your dice.
Seven.
A 7?
Sorry, I had to roll digital dice. My real dice are not in this room.
Wow. One,
Fake D&D fan.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Yeah, this will be fun. Okay. Let me go ahead and get it pulled up, and then I will share my screen and make sure I do it right this time so that everybody can hear it.
Audio
Yeah.
every time.
Audio
That's what we
is
learned.
always a good thing.
I want to ask if you're really that shocked about how quickly I happen to have this on me.
I was genuinely shocked, and I've watched you pull numerous things out of your desk that I wasn't expecting.
I mean, that's a fake knife. This is the real knife. Which,
That's not a knife.
well,
This is a
actually,
knife.
that's scissors. But there you go.
Which I find I use the scissors more than anything else. So-
Yes. Yes.
Share screen.
Ah,
Share screen. Here we go. We want
Barbarian's polyhedron of choice.
this. Oh, with audio. Thank you.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, we're pulled up. All right, this clip is called More.
Yes. Okay.
We'll watch it and then I will explain it. But this is for you, Swan.
And then I hand Muley the melody in my hand.
Oh, shut up! I don't know what's happening.
What happened?
It's
I
on two
have
times.
2 times speed because I was watching through a regular episode. Here we go. Okay.
And then I hand Muley a piece of the melon in my hand. And then I saw Kate go down. And then I kind of the whole world went a little I don't remember much. But it was so cool. And look, I got these. This is cool. I squeezed and it happened. I hand Muley a little bit more. And then I keep talking. Do you think that that they're anywhere else. I haven't checked my whole body yet.
Is Muley talking to her right now?
What's happened?
Should I check my whole body for more of these? Do you like them at least? Or can you wait? I'm talking to Sable.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. I look at Muley. I look at Sable. I look at my arms.
So, what is going on in this scene is we are waking up from a day of adventure, right? Or sorry, from a night of adventure, and we're waking up next morning, and Moss just had this dream last night of going into, essentially it was they're moving into level 3, but essentially she had this like epiphany dream last night, and actually Swan, you know about it because we've talked about it specifically for
It
something
might
else.
be for another project, even.
But anyway, she wakes up the next morning and these tattoos appear on her arms. There's tattoos of like different animals. There's like a wolf, an eagle, a bear, all these different like tattoos that show up on her arms. And she's like, what the heck? And she decides to wake up the next morning and while she's eating breakfast, talk to her little like familiar friend Sable, and is like talking to him about like the adventures they did yesterday and like what's going on. And she just doesn't understand. And while she's sitting there, she starts to hear Muley talk to her. Like the Muley is their mule that they bought to help go on their travels, and he's just like more, and she doesn't really notice it.
So well
But
played.
then eventually,
So well played by everybody involved.
But then eventually she goes, "Excuse me." And the point of, and the whole portion of that was because when she got these abilities, she has the ability to speak with animals now. So she essentially like casted speak with animals without knowing it while she was talking to Sable. And so she started to hear Muley, and then everyone's like, what's going on?
Nice.
Because she's a barbarian who wants to be a druid, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, so that is your scene.
Excellent. Thank you. Do you have artwork of Muley? I think that's the only one I don't have.
We don't have any
Okay.
special.
Oh,
Muley
so I
is a
get to
mule.
decide.
You can. I think the only thing they said about Muley was, did you guys say what? Just like a regular like light brown with like a
Yeah, he's just a mule, man.
He has like
A real
one strip
donkey.
down to his nose, I think, of something, but just real donkey like.
Got it. I can do that. I can do
Sweet.
that.
All right, so we
Do we want to share Moss real quick for the chat?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get that open. You still have the art
Draw
of
that
Moss,
ass.
correct?
I do.
And
yes.
Sable. Do you have Sable as well?
I have the one that Ethan drew, which is the one I've been using as reference.
Well, you know what's great
Oh no,
about
I think I have the
The model sheets as well, right?
You're gonna show them anyways, and I love that.
Yeah, the model sheet has Sable on it anyway, so we can do that. All right, so here's the model sheet for Moss and Sable. Let me share. Come on, man, this takes a minute, doesn't it? Here we go. Share. This is the model sheet for Moss Graywin, played by May. We have, of course, Moss with Sable on her shoulder, and then some profile views for both Moss and Sable, and a color palette. Do you want me to put the model sheet in the chat, Swan?
I
Or
do.
I can do that for you.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's the model sheet. I'm going to put it in our little Discord so that you can use it. While I'm doing that, we just need to decide if it's Vic or Joey next. Well,
should I roll? I feel like you're gonna have to give Vic more information. So
that makes sense. So you want to give the least amount of time to the person who doesn't know the most.
No, I want to give the most amount of time for explanation.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so here's Moss. All right, Joey, give me a D12. Yeah, give me a D12 roll. I'll just make up some numbers.
It's a 6. On my RGB dice.
Well, we just had 7, so let me go 1 back. Okay, this is good. All right, let me go ahead and open this up. Man, I'd like it if you didn't open on that page. Thank you very much. It'd be really great, honestly.
A Bruid. I like that.
All right, share screen, Chrome tab. This clip is called "Do You Kill Things?" All right, here we go.
I guess if any of us have to draw a robot,
I'm gonna knock on his head.
He does. There's no reaction.
Do you kill things?
Looks at you. Looks at Fizzy.
Okay. And she'll continue walking.
And that is that clip. So, a little context to the clip. So Fizzy, our artificer of the group, he actually not much long after the clip we just saw, when they made it back to Tapas, had decided that he wanted to make something that would help his friends in combat after seeing some pretty bad stuff happen. Decided that he needed to make something that would help his friends out, and created our big buddy, or Obi as they call him. And this is Obi. Let me go ahead and share the art. Share screen, window, Obi. So this is Fizzywick Fizzbang's creation, or his, if you guys need to know class-wise, Steel Defender. He created this in order to give some more protection to his party members, because he felt like he wasn't able to protect them himself, so he needed a little more help. So this is our big buddy, or Obi, as the party calls him. And yeah, Moss wanted to figure out, he's pretty intimidating if you look at this robot, right? And he's definitely taller than Fizzy. And Moss is very inquisitive about things and decided to knock on his head and ask if he kills things. And of course, Obi can't talk, so he had to try to answer through just motions. But yeah, there we go. That is that clip. All right, Joey, you know what you're doing. I'm obviously not going to send you art because you're the one who made it to begin with.
Yeah, I've got it all already, brother.
All right, and Vic, last but not least, I need a D12.
12.
Ooh.
12.
Big money.
Oh, definitely not that clip. Okay, that's not even D&D. All right,
Hunter.
let's see.
In the
We are
same
rated
folder?
18 plus on this channel.
we were it's really funny. We were going through clips before to make sure we could get clips for this, and Joey found an older clip of something we did like 3 years ago where we VTubed as cats playing video games. But anyway,
That's not what we're here to draw tonight.
okay. Yeah, this will be really good. All right. Let me open this up. Bring it over to my other screen, because once again,
This is one of my favorite parts about this type of stream that we do is Hunter has to do so much more work, and I just get to like hang out and click a button once in a while.
Just chill. and
It's
sit
so
there.
nice for me.
all right, everybody. This clip is called "Testing Your Service Provider with the Barbarian."
We're real moth heavy right now.
And gives her hand a little kiss and then walks away. I don't like that new thing as much.
I think it could be incredibly useful. Just think about Rara on the sky. We can talk to her.
Oh, that is actually pretty cool.
I don't know how far away I can communicate though. So
You want me to run over there?
sure.
I start running.
How
You still
far?
hear me?
I keep trying to say, can you hear me?
I'll go
Can you hear me now?
5 feet per. Yeah,
Can you
like the
hear me now?
Verizon commercials. Every 5 feet.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'll get to like 100 feet and you can still hear them. Do you want to keep going?
Can I come back now? It's still working.
You could just do it.
I did it out loud.
I mean,
So, context on the clip once again. Kaith gained a new ability after turning level 3. All of these were centered around when everyone turned level 3, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, this was centered around when Kaith gained his level 3 abilities of his subclass, which is Soul Knife. Yep, that's got to be right. Man, I don't remember the name now.
Damn,
But anyway,
I even played this class.
I know I'm pretty positive it's Soul Knife or
I
something.
think it's
like that.
Soul Knife.
Soul knife.
Soul Knife. Anyway, so Kaith gains the ability to be able to psychically connect with up to a certain amount of people, and he psychically connects to Moss and I think Rara at the time, and they're testing out how the psychic works, because he's like, I don't really know how this works, I don't know how far it goes, and Moss is like, wait a minute, I don't like you in my head, and then it's starting to try to come around to it, and then they get to the whole, let's see how this can work if I run really far away. And then Moss, even still to this day, doesn't understand that in order to talk, you have to do it in your head. But even though you can talk psychically, she still yells out loud. But yeah, that is the scene. And I believe you're going to need some art, right, Vic?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me. Oh my gosh, you're not in this little chat.
Oh, but they can be.
Look what you've done. How am I supposed to get stuff in here? I will upload the Keith model sheet, which the Moss is already in there as well. All right, so Keith model sheet, Moss model sheet, and that should be all you need for this. And they were in the forest at the time.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it up on the screen for our viewers as well. The model sheet for Keith, which I believe some of you may have already seen, but it's fun to throw up Joey's work. That way it gets used more than once.
If you're gonna pay for Joey's work, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. So here is Keith's. Here is Keith's model sheet. Keith Fellmore, played by Carter. He is a elf from the Runesbach Empire, but had deserted the military a while back. So anyway, here's his color palette. Here is the outfit and such. And then actually, here is Moss again. So this is in that scene. So I'm going to go ahead and show that again. This is also a size chart as well, if you need help with that too, telling you just how tall each person is, and that way you can get sort of an idea of what's going on there as well. But there we go. Everyone has their clip. Now it's time for me to endlessly talk forever.
Can you give the truncated version of kind of this setting and this world to Vic, since this is their first time experiencing this land that you have built and all
Sure.
of that?
What did you just call it? Truncated?
I just said
Yeah, it's
so
like the abridged version.
Oh,
Right.
shrunk.
yeah,
I heard trunk.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's
That's
truncated?
Right. That's correct.
Truncated.
truncated. Yes. So we're taking a little trip, and you're only bringing like an overnight pack. So give me the overnight pack trunk version of.
Oh, you know what fits in a pack? A link to a YouTube video.
Oh my god!
I'll do
It
it.
takes up almost no space.
I could just probably play you the YouTube lore video, but I mean, I would be able to be silent for 12 minutes. But it might be better if I just talk about it. I don't know. I guess we'll see what people.
We could share the link in chat, so if people were curious, they could go watch it.
You're
but-
right.
You could also explain it so that we don't
You know-
lose viewers who are just going to watch it.
Right. We'd like to not send them away from where we currently are.
That's right. That's
Don't split
right.
the party, is what I
Never split the party.
There you go.
All right. Well, let me go get that link really quick, just so it's available, and then I will talk about the old camperoonie here. Could share one link.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
My favorite
Um,
Chef Boyardee flavor.
I bet you if I post this, it's gonna say you're a bad person. Don't be in my
You gotta
chat.
send it to me.
Oh, I almost got myself banned from your chat. It was really close.
Yep, the Nightbot's gonna come in and just knock the banhammer right into your head.
There you go. All right, let me come back here. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we can sort of let's. Let me get into my storyteller vibe here. So,
Tell it as Mithros.
oh god, come on, you're just adding stuff. You're adding more things. The name's Mithras, and I was an adventurer. No. So Coralthea is our live play D&D campaign, obviously, and it's a world that we have been building through play for probably
Since
started-
2020.
since 2020, so for like 5 years now, specifically for Coralthea. We as a friend group have been playing for almost a decade now. But for the last 5 years have been playing in the world Coralthea. Coralthea is, let's call it, obviously a fantasy world filled with magic and prosperity. And lately, for the new campaign, we have started to come into a sort of technological advancement. Nothing like, oh my gosh, people have computers and cell phones and like all that stuff now. But essentially, we're sort of moving into like an industrial era a little bit. It's sort of a combination of like steampunk and cowboys and just also still like fantasy magic. But that's sort of the world setting here. But the important thing to know is that Coralthea it has been around for over 3,000 years or more. Sorry, I just had to burp.
Very professional.
Hi, yes, very professional. It's been around for over 3,000 years, and the most written history, or basically the only written history so far, starts about 2,000 years ago. And this is what historians of Coralthea call the Aqua Edo, which is Elvish for the beginning of time. Now, obviously, it wasn't the actual beginning of time, but for Coraltheans, to them, this is where the world of history really begins. And what we know is that from that point, we decided to start writing down our history because a wizard from way back in the Dizzy, he discovered
Narcivist.
some. No, it's not an archivist. Come on, man, you know this. Come on. Anyway, he discovered an old ruins of a very, very old civilization that sort of, again, predated them. As they began to look through things, it was very completely different from what they have now. And they were able to find this tablet. And it was a magical tablet that could help with an advancement in like irrigation systems, which was very new for people at the time. And honestly, a very sort of advanced magical attunement that the world hadn't seen yet. And after that, people decided that they wanted to search for these things. So it began the unearthing era, which essentially was the race to find these old magical artifacts that people decided to call the Aqua Edo artifacts, because they were items of magical power before the beginning of time. So the unearthing era started this huge race to try and find what people could in different areas of the world of Coralthea. That lasted for about 500 years or so, when a certain race and empire decided that they needed to have all of the artifacts from the Aqua Edo. And that is where we begin with the Runesbach Empire, which was the Elven Empire that started on the west coast of Coralthea. They decided that it was their divine right to take everything within Coralthea, and that if anyone was going to own all of the artifacts from the Aqua Edo or all the land or to be in charge, it was going to be them. And in this time, they actually found a very important artifact called the Crown of Elendor, which actually to this day is essentially the symbol of who is in charge of the Runesbach Empire. Whoever currently owns it and wears it is like the leader. It in itself does have some magical properties, but not something we really need to get into. So for the next like 400 to 500 years was the Conquest era, where the Elven Empire decided to try and take everything. Then we get into the end of the Conquest era when the Dwarven people of Roram, the Yarnstad Empire, was able to lead a force against the Runesbach Empire and stop them from completely taking over Coralthea. So then we had the Yarnstad Empire and the Runesbach Empire taking over Coralthea, and the two of them continued to sort of just war and duke it out for a little while until we had the Siege of Unsung Heroes, which was in the Lintumia region, which is the north of Coralthea, which was the human portion of the world. Humans hadn't really had any say in anything, but at the Siege of Unsung Heroes, when they were being overrun by both Jarnstad and Runesbach forces, they were able to become victorious and make a name for themselves and created the Bantum Empire. So after that is sort of where we get into the story of our first campaign of Coralthea, which is there was 3 empires: the Bantum Empire of the human people, Runesbach Empire of the elves, and the Jarnstad Empire of the dwarves. Now, within each of those regions, I say elf, human, dwarf, but that's just who the ruling families were at the time. Essentially, people in Roram is a lot of like the small races, so halflings and gnomes and dwarves and even some goblins were actually able to find more of an acceptance in Roram than other places. And then Runesbach Empire was elves. It actually had like half orcs and a lot more of the how do I want to say this? So the elven people basically let people in, but they had to listen to them or else. And then the Lentumia, which was the Bantum Empire, was humans and any other race that felt subjected to any of the other regions. But essentially human territory. So that's where we began our first campaign. And the first campaign starts right after what we call the Pardis War. So Lintumia, within the Bantum Empire, the human region, their king fell ill and unfortunately died. And when he did, he left his 13-year-old son to rule.
King Recluse.
His name is not King Recluse, it's King Durarod, but we'll get to the Recluse part in a second. So King Durarod.
I'm sorry, side tangent. It's one of my favorite things, and I can't. This is because I don't GM. This is why it's one of my favorite things. That consistently every party I'm with either will not remember a character's name or gets the name wrong and just holds on to that wrong name. Like that's just who I am as a person, and yeah, it never stops being fun for me. But I can't imagine that's as much fun for you.
You know, Joey's the worst. Joey's definitely the worst of all of them.
I haven't built entire characters around misremembering names of NPCs. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, he does it.
Is he also the note taker of the group too? So that you're okay. So then you're forced into what his notes say.
He sometimes only takes notes if it's like about a dog or a cute NPC or a just wild occurrence that's like, that would never happen again. He'll write that down, but never like an important story beat, or he's just like, no, I remember those things. I'm like, Joe, you don't take notes. He's like, my notes are the videos on Twitch and YouTube. I can go back and watch them anytime. And I was like, I hate you. So anyway. So
hey man, these are the best notes I've ever had.
I mean, that's true.
He didn't even have to write them. He just has to listen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you tape record yourself and then you listen it back. It's like that. So anyway, where was I at? So the Bantum Empire had just lost their king. And their new king, the son, 13 years old, took over. And a lot of people were worried, obviously, of a young boy taking over and controlling an entire empire. And there were some other people who decided to see that as a weakness and an opportunity. Bring us to what history calls the Dasan treachery. So in Sorver, which is the Runesbach Empire region, the Runesbach Empire decided to hold a very special sort of noble dinner and a sort of send-off for the Bantum king, and invited very prestigious nobles from Lintumia, some from Roram in the Jarnstad Empire and the Bantum Empire, and held it in the city of Dasan, which was in Sorber. This specific party did not involve like the actual king or his straight advisors, but essentially family that were all close to either side's leading families. During this party, the Runesbuck Empire decided to use this as a ambush and started can I say
Started making trouble in their neighborhood.
unalived. They unalived.
Yes.
Yes, they unalived a bunch of the different families within. Hi, Crystal.
They did a big red wedding.
Yeah, they did a big red wedding essentially without there being a wedding, and is now called the Dasan Treachery, and the very event that started what we now know as the Pardis War. The Pardis War was a couple of years long and actually one of the shortest wars in recorded history, but it still lasted for about 7 years. And I say 7 years like that's a short time. But in the grand scheme of the wars that have happened in Coralthea, like the
When you
Noseg
look
War,
at it from an elf's perspective,
Yeah.
the mere blink of an eye.
the war before it was the Noseg War, and that was like a 200-year war. So, anyway, so the Pardis War happens, and it's in the Dasan Treachery is what sparked it. Our first campaign took place almost 3 years directly after the Pardis War. We played our first campaign. And now we can get to the part where Joey calls out King Recluse because, so first of all,
guy was never
King
around.
Durrod,
He wasn't doing his job.
King Durrod was actually the pivotal, the linchpin, we'll call it, in the success of the Bantum Empire and the Yarnstad Empire winning. He was probably one of the world's best tacticians. And because of that, that's how they won the war against the Runesbuck Empire. Bantu Empire teamed up with the Yarnstad and they fought against Runesbuck and they won. And after that war, the entire world of
hype train.
the entire world of Coralthea decided that instead of 3 regions being ruled separately, that there would be one ruler, and that one ruler would be King Durrod of the Bantum Empire. So he then became the king of Coralthea, not just Lintumia. And although Runesbuck Empire and Yarnstad Empire still existed and had their own kings, those kings still essentially would listen to whatever King Durrod said. Now, as much as we want to say that, yes, King Durrod was the king of all Coralthea, but as you're in different regions, people play out rules a little bit differently. But essentially, that's where our first camp.
The whole cult of vampires that were actually calling all the shots behind the scenes.
So there's that. That's the next part that Joey has brought up now. So campaign 1, like I said, starts a couple of years after the Pardis War.
Okay, wait, hang on one quick second.
Yes.
Vic, do you have any questions?
That's a good thing. Thank you for
That's a
stopping
good
me. I
question.
would have kept going.
I know.
I would have kept going. I love just talking about it, and I don't want to stop, but I have to
and
stop.
It's really cute, and I like it, and I want more of it. I figured we'd take a moment to check in.
You're right.
What about chat? Chat too. Get your questions in.
Yes, Vic, do you have a question? Any questions about anything?
No questions currently.
Is it coming through, or does it sound like jarble?
It's coming through. I'm digesting it as I
Nice.
work. So I'm sure questions will occur to me in due course.
That
but
makes sense.
For now, I'm just absorbing.
I felt like the level of lore that this campaign in this world that Hunter has built with everyone else, I felt like that was going to vibe with you, Vic. So.
Oh, definitely.
Let me read some comments. Take myself a comment drink.
Take a comment break.
Is Joey just Olaf? Pretty much.
To your Anna.
I always find it neat that how fantasy zeitgeists move forward into this arcane punk with guns and columns. I had a DM who hated my notes because I wrote them in character as a teenage witch girl with ADHD. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
So
the way
good.
to take notes.
Yeah. No, we had our note
Fuck
taker
'em.
in my one in-person group was was our ADHD person so it was always from the perspective of him, and he never got names right and stuff like that. So it was a very funny, like, oh no, this is exactly how he experienced it. And then the other people would put in, it's like, I think we did this. And I mean, like, and then I have this one really weird note that I don't remember what we did, but okay, I wrote it down.
I love that. That's awesome. Actually, in a recent campaign that Joey was running, which we didn't play for long, it was a short campaign, he gave us all journals, and I decided to write the journal as I was in character. And anytime I had like inner thoughts, I'd put little brackets and be like, this is what my character would say at this point, and that was fun.
It's really
But I don't think my notes were that good either, though, so they were enough. I got to just be Joey back, essentially.
Sometimes
Lindsay's
payback is the best.
Lindsay's our main lore keeper in our game.
See, the
and,
problem
she
was
does
Hunter
great
was
notes.
like, I'm going to give Joey an NPC that helps me directly into my mind. And then I got to do the Uno reverse card on him.
He was like, I don't need this NPC. I was like, cool, all right.
No, I made the NPC. It was the cute dog that helped you.
Oh, that's right. My dog, which was supposed to just be my heads up display. And instead, Joey was like, oh, Hunter wanted to have something cool. All right.
No. Sorry, Vic, you were saying the lore keeper note taker is Lindsay?
Oh, yeah. She's the lore keeper, and she does very well at her note taking. And then sometimes we go back and look at some notes that she took, like when they met a very, very, like, somebody who became an incredibly important character in the campaign and joined their party as a permanent DMPC. I think the notes that she took when she met her initially was just hot. Mostly.
I love it because I'll throw in NPCs, and like the first thing they'll say in like the can like May, like you guys met this one like pirate captain, and she's like a Goliath. She's super buff. She's wearing just a tank top, and Moss goes, muscle mommy. Cool. You don't know the name? I don't need the name.
It's cute that you think I needed anything more than that. It's funny to me just how hard I'm already vibing with Moss. I'm like, oh yeah, this tracks.
Roxy Star says, we're on a ship, so I'm a pirate now. That's how it works. Oh, and I think we're following Mr. Dumbhead, but I love my pirate hat.
Yeah.
That's prime notes. That's like the best notes you can take.
Yeah. Once in a great while, I'll play the like stoic, paying attention character, but it's not often. That means I got to work really hard against type, and I just no, it's not who I am.
Every character we play is a little bit of us.
Yeah.
And if that's I don't take notes, that's perfect. But essentially, the people who don't take notes are all the kids who are like skipping class or went to class late, and it's like that's all of us.
It's funny though, because sometimes like late in campaigns, I'll just be like, oh, by the way, Hunter, I do this fucking thing that everyone else in the group has forgotten about. And I'll just pull the trump card out.
Joey's got recall memory. He can't remember anything when you ask him, but at some point his brain goes, hey, bring that up now. What were you about to say, Vic?
Do you take notes as a GM?
I do. That's the craziest part. Like being the DM, I take notes, but as a player, I feel like I don't take as well of notes. I try to take notes though as a player. I'm not just like I don't take notes at all, but like I try to. But as a DM, yeah, I actually. I don't know, hold on.
Some of my favorite note taking is drawing the notes, like drawing interactions and scenes. Like that's what makes me really happy.
Yeah, that's good. So for our home game, because we're running 2 games in Coralthea right now, a home game on Mondays and then the live one on Wednesdays. So for the home game, I have a journal that I put all of like the notes into and such. And then for the live play, and I showed people the notes last time, the notes from our Starfinder campaign that was like 100-page long or whatever. I'll take my notes in like Google Docs or whatever. So yeah, I tend to try and take as much notes as I can as a DM. But that's also difficult sometimes because everyone's like, hey, Hunter, I need to do this. Hey, Hunter, I need to do this. Hey, Hunter, I need to do this. And I'm like, wait a damn second. I'm typing something. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, thinking. Leave me alone.
I'm so bad at note taking. I'm very undisciplined in that way.
Oh, man.
That's why I had someone ask me recently if I'd ever want to GM, and I was like, I mean, no, I would be trash, but thank you. But also the like being able to keep everything straight and how I planned it, or being able to pivot on the fly. I'm like, I can't do that as a player. And you want me to do that as the person who built the world? No, 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 no.
That's why I like to co-DM. Hunter's like, hey,
it's so funny because like I'll be working on something, or like Joey every once in a while be like, hey Hunter, hey. I'm like, what? He's like, I had this great idea. You gotta do this. And I'm like, okay. Joey's great sometimes.
I'm like, oh, here's my character background. It's 45 pages, but it's all lore for you.
Yeah, Joey's the player you want in your campaign for the beginning. Because he'll
Not
make
to
a
continue,
character.
but to start.
He'll make his character, but with his character, you'll gain a small novel that you get to read where he just makes up lore in your world, and you're like, hey, I didn't have to do it, so thanks.
I wanted to come from this region, but there wasn't anything for it yet, so
so I wrote all
there's
of
14 pages on that.
Joey very much will at the beginning.
Is that okay?
I remember it because like even all the way back when we played our first group campaign in a world I made called Valastrad, Joey goes, hey, I want to play in your game. I said, oh, great. Well, make a character. He's like, all right, so tell me about the places. I'm like, oh, here's this one that I'm going to give you a bunch of information about. Here's this place that I'm going to give you a bunch of information about. And this place I'm going to give you a bunch of information about. He goes, oh, what about these ones? I said, well, this one's this and this and this. And he's like, oh, I want to come from that one. I'm like, I have to make up stuff. He goes, no. Don't worry about it. You said halflings come from there? I said, yeah. He's like, don't worry. Comes back with a whole novel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this culture? What did you write in here? Is this an economy page?
The gross domestic product. You're like,
this is a family tree, and it's 3 pages.
Well, halflings have big families,
Yeah, right. So Joey's great. You always want him in your campaign. Back to the whole note-taking thing too. Not to like make an ad here or sell for something.
do it.
Which if they want to sponsor me, great. But they're like a very small indie anyway. There's this app you can get, and I think it's actually only on Android. It might be on Apple as well, but I think it's only on Android. It's called RPG Notebook. Really simple. But honestly, has probably been the best app to help me keep track of stuff. So I've got, where am I? Oh, I've got my campaigns in here for some stuff. But essentially, so here's like Coralthea, right? We got this one button. I'm going to click it. And then it opens up all the different campaigns that I'm doing in Coralthea. Then I can go into each of those campaigns. This is the O&D campaign. Then it pops up with all my important things, which is like the story outline, my player characters, the BBGs, the locations, my extra notes. I can then click into those things and it shows me, all the player characters. Then I can click on that player character and it has ways that I can link to different things. Like, well, her backstory says she's from this place. I can click on that place and like all these different things. So it helps me sort of keep track of all of it along with like, so my story outline, I have like my parts for the story. Click on part 1 and it has like all of my notes and like the check boxes that need to be hit before they can move on to the next thing. If anyone is able to zoom in on that super blurry image, you can find secrets of the campaign, but I bet you won't be able to do it.
Spoilers!
That sounded like a challenge, is what that sounded like, chat.
But anyway, that app has pages on pages on pages on pages.
Cook 'em, chat.
Cook me. But anyway, yeah, that's it for note taking.
Sure.
Onyx says that Swan, you remind him of Charlie from Has-Been Hotel.
Thanks. That's a huge compliment.
Jesse Butts says, I once ran an entire 3-year Norse campaign whose main plot point is that I made a typo on a player handout about runes that instead of admitting it was, and I had to justify after the fact. I get you. I'm with you 100%. I can't speak, okay? As much as I love to talk and like talk to people, I either mess up words or
Speaking's difficult.
yes.
Tough.
Like whatever it is, I'm always messing something up. And actually, I think we have a clip of it somewhere, but I just like, I'm thinking of 100 things at once, so a different word comes out. But when it comes out, I got to stick to my guns or else I look like an idiot. I could never just admit it. The other one of the episodes a while back, they were doing this boat race thing, and I'm like, all right, so somebody gets their row, and they give you the flat side of it, and they want you to sign it, blah blah. They said, what did you just say? They pull out their the things they can, and did you just call it a row? I said, no, of course not. It's an oar. I would never call it a row. You heard me wrong. So there's that. And then
I love that.
oh yeah, and then this is where it all started. This is the start of the hunter makes mistakes and has to stick with it. In our first group campaign in the world Volastra, which I had mentioned a little bit ago, I really thought this is how the word was said. Okay, first of all, shut up. It's my joke. You're taking it from me. So
Doing it for Dana Snyder.
Dana Snyder, that guy. Always anyway. So we're in the game and they're fighting some gnolls, and the gnolls all carry scimitars. Now, when they had defeated the gnolls and we're like, oh, I wanna loot the bodies, I said, oh well, each of them have a scimitar on them, and this and that, and they go, what's on them? I said, scimitars. They all have scimitars. What's a scimitar? I said, it's the blade that's like curved a little bit. A scimitar. A scimitar? I said, no. In Volastra, they're called scimitars. So there you go. And for the rest of the time in that campaign, they were scimitars.
Double down.
Oh.
So that's and then the whole runes thing, ruins and runes. I kept getting them mixed up the entire time, and I think one time it got so bad, someone was doing something. I said, why would you do that? It's like miles big. Said miles big. It's a ruin. I'm like, no, it's a ruin. And it was awful. It's a whole. But anyway, that's me throughout all the campaigns. I always will say something wrong, but got to double down. Can't let them get ahead of you.
No, poor Austin, one of our lovely GMs, is from Louisville, so he's from Kentucky, so he speaks with a Louisville accent, and there are times where I'm just like, what? What did you just say to me? What word are you trying to say to me? And so one of the running jokes is him saying owl, like the animal, the bird, and aisle, like you would have in a supermarket, sound the same. And it's incredible. And so now, are there times where I can't tell which thing he's talking about? No, I know. But I won't let it pass because I'm a bad player.
I walk down the owl.
The owl?
You
yeah.
walk on
and you
an
go see the
owl?
owl.
You see that owl? The aisle over there?
Yeah. It's too good.
That aisle's head's all the way backwards.
Yep.
I encounter similar accent problems with mine sometimes. I think the worst one was someone, I was trying to say the word Earl, E-A-R-L.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, blah, 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 Earl. And she was like, what? I was like, Earl. She was like, I was like, oh, oh, ow, ow, and it just kind of went back and forth for ages because it couldn't occur to me to spell it.
Nope.
To the point where I'm just shouting, oh! It doesn't sound like a word anymore.
This isn't helping.
Well, and I love too when you voice to text the group chat and you're trying to talk about the party. The text thinks that poor Vic is saying potty, P-O-T-T-Y every time, and now that's just become we're talking about our party, but it's our potty, and
our potty.
It makes me giggle a lot.
It's very funny.
This is my favorite potty.
There are
That's
many
awesome.
potties like it, but this one is mine.
Me
Oh.
shouting at my phone in a stupid American accent because it's the only way for it to understand what I'm saying.
Jesse Butts, where were you 8 years ago when I needed you? Jesse Butts says scimitar is the null pronunciation.
There you go.
That would have been the best.
I will say, as someone who has played in person D&D with Jesse Butts, he will back you up and double down on the thing. Like he's very good for that. So
That's what I need is someone who will back me up when I say it wrong, not call me out and go, Hunter, you're dumb.
oh,
Everybody make fun of him. It's okay. Trauma.
it's fine. And I think about it too, because there are some words where I realize I've just only ever read them. I've never heard them out loud. And what are you gonna do when you encounter that? I was like, is that how that's said?
You just gotta go. You just gotta feel it with your
Yeah.
heart
it
and
with your
stick
chest.
to it. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a I don't remember what this is from, but it's for Chameleon.
Like the
There was
animal?
a Chameleon.
Okay.
Right?
I was waiting for it to be something else, but I know
yeah.
the animal. Yes.
The concept of a chameleon.
Yes,
There's this show I watched. I don't remember what it's called. If someone finds it, great onto you, big gold star.
Inspiration, maybe.
Yes.
Hunter never gives inspiration.
Yes,
Let's
I
just
do.
get that out of it.
So, all right, we'll get to that. Let me finish my story, then we'll get to the whole inspiration thing. So, I don't know what show or movie I was watching, but essentially, it's what we're talking about. And instead of saying, so the word is a chameleon, and they said, a chameleon.
Chameleon.
Oh, they're like, oh, what? A chameleon? What's a chameleon? The thing, it changes colors. A chameleon? And they're like, no. Is that how you say that?
I think it's How I Met Your Mother, because I remember for some reason every episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, because
Because there's the other one he says is encyclopedia.
you're right. Because his whole argument was, I've only read the word. I don't know what it sounds like.
Yes.
That's what made me think of it. Boom, gold star,
Amazing.
inspiration.
Yeah. They're
Wonderful.
coming in here and getting
Wow.
inspiration already.
Wow.
Wow, that's the first
It's because-
inspiration Hunter's ever given.
That is a lie.
Any story that someone tells, I'll be like, that reminds me of an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
How Much Your Mother's I used to watch that pretty hardcore. I think I used to watch like just every single night. And then I think I finally got, because I usually will take a show and just continuously watch it because I have horrible anxiety. It's my security blanket is to watch something over and over and over again.
I feel that.
And How I Met Your Mother was that for me for a while. And now that I've gotten older, and it is now the show that I have not switched off of yet, and I will probably never will, because there's still new stuff of it being made. Bob's Burgers. Nonstop repeat. It's on every screen in the house at all times. It's like how some people play music throughout the house. Well, Bob's Burgers throughout the house. Anyway, what were we on? Inspiration. Joey wanted to sit there and call me out about inspiration. That's what he said.
Did it. It's already been done.
All right, guys, and DMs alike out there, or GMs, whatever you'd like to call it. We love our players. We love them. We love our players. We love their creativity. Sometimes we hate our players and we hate their creativity. It's a real love-hate relationship with these adults we decide to bring over to our table, our homes even, invite them into our safe space. We love them, hate them. And there's a lot we have to remember. We do a lot. We put some things on notes. We got to write things. We got to remember things. I got calendars and I got fake calendars for the world, just so I know what's going on. Okay? I got to remember a lot. And you might think giving out inspiration's an easy thing. No. I need some maybe some backup from my other DMs and GMs out there. I don't always remember to give inspiration. It's not, it's as easy as saying, oh, you get inspiration. Or if we laughed at your funny thing, here's inspiration. But now I've gotten to a point where I feel like inspiration needs to be earned more. Or at least I did. I was like, oh, it's not good enough. I need better from you. Now you get inspiration. I essentially got to a point where I almost never really gave it out. And that's why Joey says it. But I have come up with a solution.
Yes, Shy cooks food. She gets one.
No. I have come up with a solution. I have come up with the answer. I have the way. Because I am the Mandalorian of DMing and GMing. I know the way.
At least the Ugandan.
I am
Knuckles
also
GM.
Ugandan Knuckles. So one, if you play at home and someone cooks food, just give them inspiration, right? So that's like the bribery GM. But, and you can watch this on our live plays.
Remember how mad Carter got at me when I was like, "Oh, you brought snacks, inspiration."
Oh yeah, I remember that. This is what I have come up with, and you can watch it on our live plays. It is called an inner monologue. Every player gets one inner monologue a session. No matter what role it is, whatever they roll, they can re-roll it, roll it again, whatever. But in order to do so, they have to give you an inner monologue of the character. That way, every player gets an inspiration every session, and they get to choose whether they use it or not, and they still have that they need to earn it sort of vibe going on. But it's as easy as just pretend to be your character for 2 seconds so you get to re-roll. And as long as they give a good inner monologue, they get to re-roll. Or I set the DC lower, or whatever it is. Maybe they just automatically succeed because the inner monologue.
That would be a crazy inner monologue.
The inner monologue was so good, it just succeeds. I will say Shy is getting really good at the inner monologues, and she might just get automatic succeeds if she continues. But that is my answer to the inspiration conundrum.
I like it. It's fun.
I think that's very fun. And I like that as a player, it might feel like, hey, here's a gimme. But in the like, no, you still have to earn it. And because there now is only one, you get that kind of preciousness with it. We're like, okay, so do I want to use it? Do I want to have this moment? Do I want to be introspective in this piece that I'm doing? Or do I just want to risk it and hope that my dice don't hate me?
Risk it for the biscuit. Now, here's the other half of why I stopped giving out so much inspiration. And I think this is, so there was the subconscious, this is what I just talked about. And now there's the, whatever the opposite of subconscious is. Conscious. See what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm talking at 100
crazy.
Conscious reason for doing it. And it's because
feel like I'm a part of the story. I like it.
And it's because I've got players like Carter who say they're not min-maxers, but they are min-maxers, and decide to take the feat Lucky with every freaking character.
You can't do that anymore. It's an origin feat.
I know, but before it did not matter. It doesn't matter his character. He always took Lucky. It doesn't matter. Lucky. Even if the backstory was, I'm an unlucky guy, took the Lucky feat. So he could re-roll 3 times a day. And not like a session a day. So if we didn't rest for that day, he'll just waste them up before they have to do their long rest. Whatever it is. So it ruined me giving people inspiration because he could just do it when he wanted to. And now moving into D&D 24 or whatever you call it. 24 D&D New Edition, whatever the frick. Now every freaking race can just re-roll a die. It ain't even special anymore. Humans can do it like 3 times a day, like a lucky feat. And I'm like, this is just insane. Why don't you just take the lucky feat? It blows my mind. So I'm even more behind the inner monologue thing I've come up with now because I'm done. I'm not. The inspiration feels like nothing now. Because if you were to give it to them, they just go, I go, oh, would you like to use your inspiration? And they'll go, oh yeah. No, wait, I'm not going to use that really special inspiration thing you gave me because my class can just do that. So I'm going to do this. Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to do it again. What do you mean do it again? Yeah, I have 3 of these. Oh, and actually, we're about to take a long rest. So I'm just going to refresh these.
I'm sensing you have some feelings about this.
I think we hit a nerve for me.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is not a way we went before, so this is important. I also just love, because I've met Carter, I know Carter, and I can imagine him doing this and just needling you just enough with it. Like, oh no,
triggered me good. And it wasn't even him too. Like, it's old. Like, there's another person who plays this that does the same thing, and I'm like, come on, you're the same person. Stop. I can't take it anymore. You've ruined me. So now everybody else suffers, like Joey, who just wants to play characters who do whatever they want. but make you cry. He's a real left-right kind of guy all the time.
So I think you've
Anyway.
talked about this before, but I don't remember. This campaign is within D&D 5e.
Yes.
Well, no,
thank you.
we've half transferred.
Get us back on track here.
Oh, there's
No,
no
it is
track.
fine.
There's no track. We are in space, my dude. That's the best part. There are no rules.
We do play D&D 5e. The rules are all based off of D&D 5e, but a lot of the not a lot of the time, but I'd say that in all honesty, I think we maybe use 80% of the rules to the T, and like the other 20% is stuff that I have decided to do for this world because it feels like it makes more sense for me. They're current, and you know what? As Vic, you said you're a DM GM, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like your opinion on this. Now you got me going.
Okay, so one side tangent before you go into this, then I want to let you roll.
Go ahead.
I might have said this to you before, but I think we must have also been drinking at the time. But I realized that when you get really, really fired up, you give me big Charlie Day vibes when he is, and so I'm so delighted by it.
Where's Pepe?
Yeah, so that's all. I'm very happy. I'm sad that you're sad, but I'm also having a great time.
I like Charlie.
And everybody
I'll
gets a
take that.
reroll. I don't understand.
It's in the rules. They wrote it this way. Why? Who would do that?
Perfect. But yes, now please have GM to GM conversation here. I'm going to move Vic up so that the GMs can talk.
For drama. Anyway. I don't even remember. Oh, yes, okay. All right. I'm gonna get back into it. Okay. So here is a ruling that I have made clear.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple games, multiple sessions. This is the ruling for the. So first off, no matter what you say, it's still the ruling I'm going to go with. But I would like your opinion on what you think, because I made it the rule and I can't go back on it, or else I'm going to look weak to everyone. So I got to stay strong.
Up is athletics and
It's
down
up and
is
down. It's up and
acrobatics?
yeah. So yeah, the when you make skill checks to move, whether you are if you are climbing or falling, athletics to climb, acrobatics to fall. What do you think? What is your opinion?
Explain why.
Great question. So in order to climb things, you have to use a lot of your upper body strength. It requires strength in order to climb things.
Mm-hmm.
You got to grab, you got to grind footholds, you have to pull your whole body weight up. And even when it's there's a hole in the cliff or whatever, and it's the stairs, there's a hole in the stairs and you got to jump. That's jumping upwards. You're moving momentum against gravity. So it takes strength. It takes your muscles in order to push against that. So athletics. And also in the rules, a lot of the jumping and climbing rules are athletics as well. So that's where I chose to bring that from. And what I agree with, that whenever you go up, it is athletics, and when you go down, it is acrobatics. Acrobatics, because you are controlling the free fall of gravity. There has nothing to do with muscles there, and all about your way of being able to turn trajectory or move your body in a way to keep you safe. That is my why.
Follow-up question. Give me an example of when you would use an acrobatics check to fall.
So one that might not be as well, actually, just jumping off of, let's say, a 2-story building. You're jumping off because you're running from the guards, or you're running from a criminal, or whatever it is. You decide to jump, and there is a haystack down there, and you want to be able to jump and land in that haystack and not miss it, or jump and grab a light pole before you go down, or that kind of stuff.
So an inherently more dexterity based athletic action.
It's more of a tumble than a push.
Yeah, but also just literally falling and tumbling, like Joey just said, where it's because I don't, if I did wrestling for a long time, so the idea of we have to do Superman jumps and then land and roll so we wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah,
that's all about moving and turning your body in ways so that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So again, for falling, it's controlling the body's way of moving instead of thrusting it.
Hmm. I don't agree.
I didn't know you invited Carter to this.
Here's why. Here's why I
Just
don't
pulls
agree.
off the mask.
Not because I dispute the logic of like of what you just said, so much as that I don't regard, when I'm thinking what is athletics versus what is acrobatics, I don't think of it in terms of up or down, like the pull up versus the fall down, because I think of it in terms of like, what skill set are you engaging? Is it about your physique? Is it about your inherent like strength, stamina, and the kind of like how far you can push your body to achieve an outcome? So it's an outcome based on velocity or volume or something like that, versus the expertise of acrobatics. So for example, if I'm going to have you climb a ladder, that's an athletics check. If I'm going to have you climb a rope, that's an acrobatics check, because there's a technique involved in it. And that's kind of, I don't know if those are the best examples, but that's the kind of logic by which I'm approaching it. In the same sort of the difference between swinging a sword versus throwing a dagger. Like
I have a
you
question.
can huff a dagger as hard as you possibly can, but there's technique to it, and there's technique to swinging a sword as well. But you
So
kind of get
say-
what I'm going at.
Say you're standing still in front of a gap and you have
Yeah.
to move up like 8 feet up. And you're like, I'm going from a standing still and then I'm going to wall run up this wall to the next step. Would you say that's acrobatics or athletics?
Wall run up from a standing start, like just run
Yep.
up a wall.
I love
Yep,
that was the
standing
first
start.
question that you spotted the standing still.
So that's not physically possible.
Fantastic. So you would say that person would fall 10 feet down to the next level.
I'd say that unless you
Oh.
have some sort of like if you're a monk who has that capability to like do insane jumps from a standing start, then I can entertain it. But unless you've got like spider climb or something, you can't just defy physics because you want to.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we're all on the same page now.
We got there. We're all there.
Hunter, I finished one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a matter of whether or not it's acrobatics or athletics. That's just not possible because that's not how gravity works.
Thank you. And so I like what you said about how it sort of works. I still like to say, so the ruling is still like at its base level is if you're going up, it's athletic. If you're going down, it's acrobatics. That's what I like to look at as the base rule. And then it's okay, now tell me the variables and we'll go from there.
And I fully support as well the idea of like, whether right or wrong, if that's the precedent you've set, that's the consistent world rule, then just stick with it, because the consistency matters more than like it's magic. Like it was magic world, so it doesn't really matter. But like, yeah, the consistency matters more than being a stickler for the rules. I mean, if you can give me a really compelling reason why from a standing start you can just run up a wall, then I'll hear it.
And it better be I have spider climbing boots or I'm a monk.
I think I'd also entertain things like I'm just so angry and I just need to get up this wall for whatever reason. Like I can entertain scenarios like that as well, but it's got to be a reason.
All right, so I hear some people are done. Yes, correct?
Yeah, I'm done with one. I can go
All
to
right.
the next one.
I'm still going. I don't know that I'm going to finish more than one tonight, but I'm having so much. I know, but I'm having so much fun.
Swan.
I'm having so much
I will see that all of you started by making a comic strip this time.
They were all multiple panels.
Yeah, it
They
needed
were.
to be.
Which is
So,
great.
Was that not what we were supposed to be doing?
No, you do whatever you want. And I love that you did do comic strips because we have this whole thing that afterwards, if they get polished and finished up, I'm going to turn them into motion comics. So anyway, what was I at? Joey, you said you're
Joey.
done.
Yeah,
Wait, we got
you
to
want
show
me
and
to-
tell.
Do you want me to do a little zoom here?
Yeah, dude, so walk us through it.
All right, so we got the knocking. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Hey, do you kill people? We got Moss's inquisitive face. Obi doesn't fucking know. Obi's been alive for like 3 hours. Looks over to his creator.
Eh,
No.
eh.
Gives her the no. That's good for me.
Amazing. I love it.
I love it. Great job, Joey. Are you done, Vic?
Let's say yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
I
you
gotta
need.
actually like.
Oh, I
run
love
in
your
a
take
minute,
on
but,
Moss. That's fun.
Okay, so we've got like magic message happening psychologically, psychically. Wow. And Moss being like, I don't like it, and then being like, well, how far does it work? Do you want me to go run? And then does this work? Like in the brain? Oh, I realize I've drawn with the mouth open, but does this work? Yes. And then how about now? Yes, still yes. And then finally, can I come back now? It's still working, but
Oh, that's awesome.
really
And
good.
Love it.
I love that you were just like, oh, I put the mouth open here, but that's perfect. Moss the whole time still thinks that she has to talk out loud during psychic communication.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Oh, I love those vertical panel breaks
Yeah.
so much for
Really
that.
good.
Like, it's so
Yeah.
perfect. Vic, you're so good.
That's really good.
That's really
it's
good.
like
Also,
really scribbly because I knew I was gonna only have time to like.
no, you
but-
crushed it. Yeah, mine is really scribbly, and you can't even tell what I'm doing yet. So
Oh,
Good
come
on
on,
ya.
Swan.
look at his face.
You're
She
almost
just woke
there.
up. She just woke up.
Look at that drool.
I know.
I love the character design too. You did really well.
Yeah.
I like that. I love Moss's look and Kate. You just like got Kate. Kate's
Yeah.
whole, you know, like his whole like, oh, why can't I do acrobatics so I'm from a standing position? Like, he just nailed it.
Okay, so
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep being this person and hijacking you, Hunter. But from a Vic point of view, being the first person to come into this not knowing anything about these characters, this world, I knew some stuff about the characters before we did the first older N Doodle with this set. So how was it getting to watch clips of the actual players acting it out to then see the model sheets? Like, how did that feel? How'd that make you feel?
Is this a question for me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm intrigued. and I feel like I got a pretty good impression of, at the very least, Moss from the 3 clips that we saw.
Yeah, it was a
we hit.
really Moss heavy start for sure.
Yeah, we really hit all the Moss clips there.
Yeah, I went Moss heavy on this for that reason. Like that's yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Swan, you said you're not done?
I'm not done yet.
Okay. Joey, you want a new clip, right?
Yeah, give me a clip, brother.
All right. And then Vic, do you want to keep going before you get another one, or do you want to jump on another one?
Alas, I actually have to go because I have so much comic work that I have to get done this week. And
I'm excited to see this one that you've done.
But
finished.
I will tidy this up properly and send it over to you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. You know, it's cool. It's like show up, do something great, and then leave. You know, whatever. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
whatever.
kind of, yeah. The
That's
very
my brand.
special like NPC who just came in to save the party and then is like, I must go now.
My people
can't-
make
Ex
me.
Machina.
Yes, Yep.
That's awesome.
Well,
I hope you've become a fan, Vic. I hope maybe you'll watch and check us out.
For sure. Thank you very much for letting me doodle your characters.
Well, thank you for showing up.
hey, where can people read your comic about D&D, Vic?
You can read it at dragoons.com.
Yeah.
And
Do
yeah.
you just do the comic, or do you guys stream as well?
This is just the comic. It's based on a home game that we've been playing for like 6 years or something by this point. And so I'm going to make this comic until I'm dead because there's so much material to make.
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's just a home game that was never streamed, and then I've actually like adapted it for comics, so which I didn't from the very start. Originally I was like, I'm going to make this comic verbatim what happened in the game, and then I very quickly realized that is not a good idea. So now it is a properly adapted story for the comic medium, but it's a story of found chosen family. It's like slow burn on mysteries and plot and relationships, and exploring a fantasy world that is a homebrew world, because I can't follow a source book to save my life.
Same.
People are like, oh my god, you made all of this, and we're like, no, you listen, you don't understand. I'm incapable of remembering someone else's material. It is easier by far for me to come up with something on the spot.
Source books are great. They're cool. They've got a lot of fun stuff
good.
in them, and I'm so inspired by what those people, the team of 50 people, put together. That's great. But like, boy, I can't follow it for because I can't use the future material to predict what the players that never do what you want them to do. Like, I don't know how they wrote all of, like, when I write stuff, I don't write to the, like, I know what I want it to end at, but I don't write all the stuff in between that. I know what I want it to be, and I'm like, all right, Hunter, we're going to plan for the next 5 sessions. Don't ever plan for the next 10 again, because you'll hate yourself. Yeah.
I agree. I concur. So, but yeah, you can read that at dragoons.com if that's your jam. Please do read it and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I'm currently looking at the webpage, and I'm enjoying just by looking at it already.
It's very, very
Page
fun.
116 is up, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
and if you would like to get it updates on Wednesdays, and you'll get early access if you join on Patreon. I post the pages a week early, as well as like behind the scenes, so like works in progress, and then any other kind of like concept art and other things that sort of I can share, and then probably anything else that I'm working on, and I'm always working on something else. Got a few projects in the works. Swan knows about one of them. Actually, I think you know about both of them, but
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm slowly learning more.
Yeah, Swan be knowing.
I took notes. But also, I love it because as we have dragged you into more and more art streams, we've now gotten more potential sticker content out of it. So keep eyes out for really fantastic sticker packs that I cannot wait to send human money and get in my human hands. Yeah. So, hey, thanks so much for coming and playing.
Thanks for having me. Sorry I got to bail early. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
You're cool.
Totally okay.
We get it.
Thank you so much. We will invite you again.
Amazing. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, now that no, I'm just kidding.
I have a D8
Wonderful.
here, Hunter.
Terrible.
Vic is a wonderful person. I like them a lot. Very, very cool.
Yes, I'm a humongous fan. And funny, that was actually met through the internet, but by way of friends I know in real life. And so the very first time I ever met Vic in person was at our mutual friend's wedding.
Wow.
So yes, huge, amazing shout out to He Owl, which is something that you can pick up on their Gumroad shop. They read it to us during one of our recent streams, and it's a goddamn delight. So yes.
That's awesome.
Check out He Owl.
I did want to go through the comments really quick. I just saw that someone said that Psych is the show for them, of their anxiety show. I also love Psych, and is the other show that gets put on if I, for some reason, need to take a break from Bob's Burgers. I love Sean Spencer and Bruton Guster.
It's true.
My favorite people. They're downstairs. I have art of them downstairs. Love Psych. Very, very good.
I love
Anyway.
that he's actually a tap dancer and tap danced on Broadway. That made me really happy.
Pretty cool, those people over there.
Very cool.
Onyx says, I thought Carter was a figment of our imagination. You're not wrong.
He is. No, you're right, Onyx. He is.
I feel like you could have imagined somebody who would be nicer to you.
You think that, right?
Nope. Hate myself, so I gotta imagine someone who makes me mad.
Someone who's just gonna antagonize me always.
All my triggers. So anyway, Joey, next clip. What'd you roll?
I got a D8. Do you want me to roll that?
Yeah, roll it. At this point, roll whatever die you want.
It's
I liked Suits,
a
Onyx. I didn't keep up with it,
Suits
but I
is
liked
good.
it.
it's a 4. The RGB D8 says it's a 4.
Oh, no, we did that one.
How did we
Oh.
already do 4? We all rolled
No,
high.
no. I'm going through. Sorry, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a good one. All right. Let me get this pulled up.
Swan,
I do
prop
love
us
that-
up for a clip.
That you say it every time. They're all good clips. They're all fun.
Yeah.
Like, and there's conversation around them. So it's very cute to me. But
I just sometimes I just don't think of myself as so cool. All right. I just needed to bookmark the dragoons.com. Okay, there we go. All righty. I just let the clip play like 8 times. Okay. Full screen, and let me stream it. Here we go. This clip is called Do You Know How to Dance? Here we go. Come on, son. Sorry, I just saw it in chat. I had to say it. Anyone else joining in as you see?
I was like, yeah, Fizzy! She'll prestidigitate some like fairy lights around us.
Oh, thanks, Rara.
Boss, Kate.
On.
You see our big buddy just going.
Kate, do you know how to dance?
Yes.
Me either.
Yeah, so context for this clip. They were in the tavern. Oh my gosh, was this?
I think
After
we
the
were in
Tempest Fair
the
ended?
Market Square. There was a band at the Market Square during the Tempest Fair.
Oh, yes, that's correct. Yeah, they were. So, Ra, obviously being the dancing bard, went out there and started dancing. And then Fizzy was like, I want to join in. So Fizzy goes out there and we're like, Fizzy, can you dance? Rolls a performance. And he like rolled really well. And he's out there, doing the jig and with Ra. And Ra's like, oh, shit, making him look good. And even Obi the robot's like, oh, I can move back and forth, just feeling it. And then Moss and Keith are very like not super sociable. So Keith, who came from military family and probably went to like balls and things and knows formal dance, doesn't really want to go out there and dance with people. And Moss, being the way she is, do you know how to dance? Yeah, me either. And I don't think Moss and Keith ended up dancing at all. If I remember.
think I forced Moss out onto the dance floor, and
That might have happened. Yeah. But anyway, that is the scene and the context behind that. But they were at the Tempest Fair, which was the big sort of celebration in Tapas that was going on for the weekend, which ended up being a very big arc for our heroes.
is that the one I got to draw the cute little librarian girl from?
You did.
Yeah.
That was the end of the Tempest Fair.
That was super fun.
They were headed to the Admiral's Feast. You have to go back and watch the other episode of this to see that art. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, because Swan hasn't finished it yet, so it hasn't been
Come
posted
on,
yet.
Swan.
Dude, I'm trying.
That too.
I'm trying.
That's okay, Swan. All right, Joey, you have your clip. Go ahead and do your thing. We just see you, by the way, unless you want to not show the art this time.
I don't. Fuck 'em.
Oh, good. Yeah. Stick with it, man. Double down. Oh, see, now you look weak because now you're showing it to us. Mine's Arrow or Suits. Oh, yeah, Arrow's good. So, Onyx, you can tell me how you feel. Arrow, honestly, to me, the first 4 seasons, I actually thought were very, like, first season, I fell in love with it. I was like, wow, Arrow and the CW verse, this is pretty good, man. I like it a lot. Even season 2, it was good. Season 3, I still liked it. Season 4 is the last season I liked, I think, because it started to get to a point where I don't know, something about it just gave me like the CW ick, and I don't know why. But then we had The Flash. I love Flash. I watched the crap out of that one. But even that one in like the last seasons started getting the CW ick. And I don't understand why the end of CW shows give me so much ick. But I still think Grant Gustin is probably the greatest Flash we've ever had. And I would love to see him in the movie versions as Flash, but whatever. We don't always get what we want. Even Supergirl. I actually really like Supergirl too. I don't know if I ended up getting the ick for that show, but I did like it a lot. And then what else was there?
Did you do Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow. Thank you. I did like Legends of Tomorrow, but then Legends of Tomorrow ended up getting really confusing.
Yeah, I had heard that.
Yeah,
I fell off way on, but I was like, oh, I can see this getting very twisted.
It was great. I even loved all those people together because I love the Scorch. That actor. I like him a lot.
Yep.
So I really liked Legends of Tomorrow. It didn't give me the ick. It just got confusing. Yeah. And I was like, why did you do this to me? I loved you and you hurt me. Mm-hmm. So CW verse I think did really well in the beginning, but I feel like just like anything else they do when it gets to the end, just get that ick.
I feel like they're not good at sticking the landing.
Mm-hmm. All the flips before, super cool.
Right? Yeah,
but,
really good flips up until that point.
Yeah, and then they land.
And he doesn't count as an actual like character actor for it, but I do love Michael Rosenbaum as the voice of Flash from Justice League Unlimited and Justice League. Like he is the voice I hear for Flash, but Grant Gustin absolutely like the physicality and the timing and the acting and
he's Barry Allen for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Let me see. Let me read the responses here. Hunter, did you check out my DMs on Discord? Yes, I did, and I will hopefully be ready for the next Pokemon Go. Did you send them to Joey as well? It's good time for Joey. Onyx says he's in till season 6 of Arrow, and then loved Flash till season 5 because they never end. Because they never end how we want or they should end. Supergirl was good all the way through. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good all the way through. Legend of Tomorrow was great till the end. Onyx says, never saw Black Lightning, but Onyx says Black Lightning was bad.
It looked rough.
And then, did you guys watch Stargirl? It was freaking amazing. Didn't even know there was a Stargirl show or movie. Superman and Lois was okay, but not great. I don't know that one either.
Is like Superman and Lois from like years and years ago or a new one?
Smallville spinoff stuff? You guys remember Smallville?
I do. I watched a ton of Smallville.
I didn't watch a ton of that, mostly because at the time, I think Heroes was out, and that was my damn jam. I love Heroes. Heroes is good. I remember watching that shit pirated at first, and then getting CDs. Man, remember when we had DVD players and we could just,
watch stuff,
watch things?
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice time.
I remember VHSs. Wow. I was part of that family that would collect every Disney movie VHS you could.
Which is interesting because I guess I put you much younger that you wouldn't have hit that part. So
I was born not in America, so things were a little bit.
You said it on the internet. What are you doing?
Oh my god!
No, I was before I get fucking. Please don't call anybody. I don't need ice in this can, please. I was born in Guam in a military U.S. base. I'm all American. All right. Anyway, yeah, I was born in Guam and we lived in England for a long time. And in England, I feel like the other part of the world was still on VHSs when like the US was moving out of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, my family collected like all of the Disney movies as VHS as possible. I had Small Soldiers on VHS and used the crap out of it. Garfield on VHS, used the crap out of that. The Rugrats movie, like all that kind of stuff, right? But of course, when we moved over from England, all that shit's gone, you know. I remember you having the whole Fisher Price like blue and gray trunk I don't know if you guys remember those, like the toy trunk.
Mm-hmm.
The lid was blue and the whole side was gray. It had Fisher Price, whatever. And I'd flip that open. One whole area was VHS tapes, and the other side was like whatever freaking weird Transformer toys and things I had. Whatever I had in there. Damn. Take me back.
Damn.
Let me restart.
I
Where's
didn't know any of that about your backstory.
Can I load a previous save? I'm
The
so
Guam stuff. No.
The Guam saga. I didn't know.
Yeah. I was born in Guam. Agat Guam, by the way. That's where I was born.
That's the first time he said that name, by the way.
No, it's not. I've told you I was born in Agat Guam so many times. I even made it a trivia question once.
Mhm.
Anyway, Agat Guam, and military baby, little baby boy hunter. I would go out in the morning in my Speedos and spearfish for dinner as a baby, as Joey likes to think when I first told him I was born in Guam.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I was born in Guam, and then we moved to England, and apparently, so how it happened was my parents were stationed in England, and made me, then went to Guam, and then I was born in Guam when they were stationed there and moved to Guam, and then we were there until I was like 2 maybe, and then we moved back to England. And we lived in England for some time. And then from there, we went to like Ireland and a couple of other places for short times, but always ended up back in England. And we were in England until I was about to start elementary school. So I had to be like 5 when we moved away. Because I remember kindergarten in America. So we had to have moved just before I went into kindergarten. But yeah, military baby on all the different bases and things and such alike. What's funny too, and I feel like now I'm going to say this because we're never going to do it. We were supposed to do a conspiracy episode on the Older and Dumber podcast, and we were all supposed to come.
Happen, but go ahead.
I hope it still happens, but we're supposed.
I really want to do an Alex Jones cosplay for it.
We were supposed to each pick a conspiracy and then talk about it. So I wanted to do my conspiracy because my dad and my mom actually lived through it when it happened, and that was the death of Princess Diana.
Wow.
And so it's funny because when we wanted to do this episode last year or whatever, we talked about it before we were going to do it, like weeks ahead. I called up my dad, I called my mom, I said, hey, I want to interview you about this, and can you tell me how you felt at the time, what was going on, because we were in England and blah blah so I have like interview and first account things from them whenever we do this episode. But it was crazy when I started looking into this shit. I was like, I was there, but I was a baby. But anyway, it was crazy. I'm a crazy baby. Yeah, so I wasn't born in the US. I was born in Guam, which is US territory for anybody who wants to be an a-hole. Weren't we talking about D&D?
You're the one that got us on this subject.
Whoa, I was asked where I was born, and I will never give up the chance to say where I was born. It's too fun.
Fun. I'm very happy for this tangent. This was Joey wrote a whole thing about this town that I just tangentially mentioned. I just got that moment.
See? Oh gosh.
Where did we leave off? Who knows?
I don't even remember. I remember
This has been a very
topic to topic episode.
It
started off with me, rambling lore, and then finally Swan was like, Hunter, stop.
Sweetie, it's
see
okay.
If people have questions.
It's the teacher in me. It's okay.
No, it's good. Yeah, and then we're here. How are you doing, Swan?
I'm good. I really like this scene. I'm having a lot of fun, which I think is why I'm taking so much time on it. But would you like a little preview of whatever?
Yeah, give me a little preview.
Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna make it big.
Let me see this.
Make it big. Okay.
Hunter, if it wasn't for clips, would you remember the scenes?
Yeah.
I don't think you would.
There's some stuff we don't have clipped that I remember that I think we should go clip. And someday we'll do that.
Hmm.
All right, give it to me, Swan. Let's see.
All right. So Moss is waking up and catching all of these new tattoos that she has and figuring them out. And then she is looking at them and I gotta fix that eye. Donkey is talking to it some more, and then very deeply questioning.
What did you just say? Did you just talk to me?
Yes.
That's awesome. I love it.
So,
Sable is very like, I love him. He's like, what? Huh?
Yeah, because we're just hanging out here and then like running around and looking up here, and then I just like this really and it was because May was doing all this great like arms up work, so I just imagine like Moss like gesticulating wildly, and then finally getting to the tell me the truth.
Can you hear me?
Yep. And
I love it. She's just doing this, and then you.
Yeah,
don't we have the continuation clip of that scene too, where she's like, "Oh my god," and she like runs and finds us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd have to find it.
Sure, you could, and you could share it.
I'm sure I potentially could. Joey is like, Hunter, go do it.
Do your job.
Wow.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
No.
Damn.
No.
I'm not allowed back here anymore. Let's see. Creator dashboard, content clips.
I think it's called "Oh My God, Rara."
It probably is called that. I don't doubt it.
So are you in charge? Do you have to like clip stuff while it's happening while you're GMing, or is it something you go back or like make a note to go back and clip? Or
I have a button on my Stream Deck that says clip it. And if I, for the same reason I don't remember to give out inspiration, remember to clip it, then I make a clip. But really, if you go through our clips, you'll notice that Joey is about 90% of the clip creator of our clips. And is a good point because Joey doesn't use notes. He just goes back and watches the episode. So while he does that, he's making clips. So it works out perfectly.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think I could. I catch myself, and you see it here, as I move stuff around, as I interact with chat, as I drop things in and move screens around, like, I don't get as much drawing done. And so if I was trying to do all of that and clip things, like, it's too many things.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a lot of things. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. When we play, I have 8 tabs open.
Yeah.
I've got a Roll20 tab, I've got the D&D Beyond tab, I've got the Twitch tab, I've got the OBS, I've got the chat of Twitch, I've got the chat of Roll20, I've got, like, all these different things open. And it's like, Hunter, why don't you remember the clip? Bro, I'm trying to make it so people can't see what's happening behind the scenes. I'm supposed to remember all these other things too. Get yourself a dedicated clipper, guys.
Sometimes make clips.
She does make clips sometimes. And some of our fans clip too.
Onyx one time clipped the intro.
I did find a clip from you, Onyx. That's just the waiting screen. I was like, why did you clip that? Why is this here? It's very funny. Good job, Onyx. I found the clip. I found the clip. Come on. Here we go. Here, I'll get it going here. So this clip is a continuation of the clip that Swan is currently drawing. And it is called "Oh My Gosh, Rara." Thanks.
He said thank you.
Yeah, no problem, little muley.
Do you understand me?
Looks at you. Yeah.
Oh my God. I just run. Rara!
You guys are like ending your conversation.
Rara!
Boss. But yeah, so that's just, again, it just continues of the holy crap. I can talk with Muley and Yeah, it was a pretty awesome moment, mostly because, Moss, man. um, Moss comes from a region called Ashen, which is a northern sort of small country above Coralthea, which actually isn't connected to it. It's separated by a large ocean. But she comes from there, and predominantly a sea, if you will. Predominantly druids live there, and so she comes from a druid clan, and her whole entire clan is druids, and her family's druids. Even her brothers and sisters are druids. But
Moss just got anger issues.
and Moss just has anger issues, and just can't quite get it right, and never really has been able to get
Rara
it
has
right.
always.
Go ahead, Joy.
I just said Rara has always supported her.
And has never been able to really get it right. And when she left, she hoped to maybe figure that out and hadn't. But of course, after the dream she had and traveling with her friends and becoming level 3, she didn't take druid. She took barbarian still, because she is a barbarian, so she continues to get stronger in that. But when level 3 decided to take the subclass, oh my gosh.
Wild Heart.
Thank you. No. Yeah, that's it.
Isn't it? I thought
yeah, I
that's
think
what
it
it
is.
was.
I think it is. Wild Heart Barbarian or something along that lines, which essentially kind of is a barbarian druid dabbler, which is cool. And it's where she learns, because I love the books and I love knowing what your ability, you know what I mean? Like you do something because you want those abilities. But I love it even more when, as a character, you realize it's not, I know those things, I'm an expert at it now.
Right.
It's, you've gained this ability, learn how to use it. Or you don't even know you have the ability, but it just sort of comes up that you know what it is now. I really enjoy that because that makes so much more sense in storytelling. But yeah, so the whole idea that that she now can speak with animals comes about as she's talking about her new tattoos, and boom, it just happens. So it's fun that way.
I think this is probably from being a more novice character builder. I just haven't played that many games. Stacking up a lot more now, but still, like, I don't have an endless wealth of characters, but I think it has been very fun with some of them who have such specific, like, this is their lineage, this is kind of the flavoring of them. So I'm like, yeah, would it be cool to have this spell as a druid? Yeah, but it wouldn't make any sense for this character. So I'm going to take these 3, even though this, it might not be the most powerful or the most useful, but it makes sense for the character. And then, like, maybe I get to spin it some way and it ends up being a cooler moment. So, like, I like that self-imposed constraint.
Yes.
Because it forces me to be like, no, but how would she actually interact with the world? Like,
Yep.
this one character, she is primarily a healer. She's the team help and everything, but she's also a teenager, so she has rage issues. So her then, like, manifestation of her vines and everything are very, like, they're more aggressive. So she had call lightning because it was the rage part of it. But then everything else was like, okay, but then, like, it's cure wounds and lay on hands and all these other things. So it was like, no, but the party. But then, like, that little moment of, that's a really aggressive spell that you've got there that you just threw a person into a wall. But okay.
Yes. I love that. And I love that that's your thought process, Swan, because that's how you should think as a character. You shouldn't think about okay, so, all right. And I don't want to tell anybody they're wrong for playing something a certain way or whatever, but it really feels like when you play D&D or when you play any tabletop RPG, you're doing it to tell a story. We're gathering together in one place to tell a story together. It's literally the oldest thing of time. And ever since fucking people could talk, they would sit around a campfire and tell stories. Storytellers used to be a damn job. Storytellers used to be like the elders, the most important people. Like, storytelling is not new, but we do it together. So D&D is this even bigger collaborative, being able to do it. And we just did a podcast episode about it not too long ago, but stories aren't interesting without conflict. No one likes to just see somebody win all the damn time. Nobody likes to just see that it just works out. Like, problems and conflict are what make
That's why Empire
stories
Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie.
it's what makes stories interesting. It's what makes them gripping because we can connect to it. We as people can feel being that person in that situation. Conflict makes it real. And when you decide to make a character, you should think about those real constraints. Yeah, I love playing games and being able to be super strong, but that's why I play video games, which video games are really good at still constraining me because they're pre-built engines. I don't get to make a choice in a game and it go through. Like it limits me. But if I'm gonna make some choice, which is leveling up and picking certain skills, then I'm gonna do that. But with D&D, it's so much bigger, so much collaborative, so much more creative, so much more opportunity for improv in so many different avenues. Like you can't predict everything. So if you have to in order to do that, you have to constrain yourself to what that character would really feel and do. And that's huge and important because you're telling a story of you, of that character, their life, their progression. They're not just a vehicle for you to be like, hit things, number go up. I mean, that can still be a way you play the game, but like knowing to constrain yourself, like you could build a character that is what they have done all their life, but then they still have flaws. They care about the number go up, but they're really bad at like whatever else you can think of. Like even though there's that amazing sword over there, they won't, doesn't matter if that sword instantly kills people, they won't use it because it's not in their theme, or they can't use swords because maybe they have a phobia of swords and they only use axes. Like whatever it is, like that stuff grips us, brother, gets us in their grippers, and that's what matters. I can feel the like, oh, how much I care about this coming out of me right now.
I mean,
I
Hunter
love
can
it.
probably attest to this, but I always try to make weird fucking characters because it's always more fun.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. If you're looking to make characters, your DM will because as DMs, we, again, to make a story compelling, we have to put conflict in. We have to make things hard for you. We have to put things in your way or else you don't go anywhere. But you know what DMs love? When you can make up that stuff for your own character and then tell us how to use it. Like that's even better. Like, again, we'll use Joey as an example. He made a character that was from the war and had like PTSD. And anytime he rested, he had to make a check to see if there was a horrible dream that gave him bad, disadvantaged, detrimental stats for the next day. Like that's awesome. And it's so little that it still grips us, And Moss, May's character, she plays the whole I'm a naive kid who knows nothing about the world so good. Like no matter how many times like someone says, why don't you just do this? It's how your class works. Or why don't you take this? It's the better option. It's like, I don't care that it's the better option. This is what we have already established that this is how Moss acts. I'm not going to change that without going through some sort of character development to make me think that way. Like one really big thing for Moss is, so she's a barbarian that can't use her rage on her own free will. She can't rage on her own free will because she has anger issues. So she can't control her anger. So if something sets her off, she instantly starts raging. Or even when she wants to rage, it won't work unless it's triggered somehow. And we have special rules going into that because that was her whole RP thing about it. And it's like some people are like, she's a barbarian, why can't she just rage? That's her whole class. It's like the whole reason you be a barbarian. I'm like, okay, first of all, don't look at one thing that everybody makes a joke about for barbarian and say, that's the only reason you become a barbarian.
Right.
Because she's a wild heart barbarian. She gains all these things about like druidy things, which are way more important to her character than raging. Come on. If anything, the most important thing about a barbarian is that they get a D12 for their hit die. It's the biggest one. So conflict, guys. Conflict. It's
Trauma.
you need
Conflict
it.
and trauma.
Nobody likes a story where nothing bad happens.
You're like, oh, your edgy backstory. DMs love an edgy backstory. They're like, oh yeah, Give me some more of that.
Please.
But
Let me
like,
unleash this on you later in the campaign.
yeah, that's wonderful. Like, don't choose something because don't be a merfolk from the ocean and lived in Atlantis, and you're a sorcerer who decided they want to travel on land to see the world and really find out why their people don't trust landies. That's what you call them, because you're a merfolk. They call landers or two-leggers or grassies, whatever you want to call them. You wanted to find out why, and you all about water. Don't freaking take fireball because someone said it did a lot of damage. Like, have a reason for it. Don't take mold,
Mold earth,
come on.
yeah.
Yeah, like you come on.
And I think as someone who joined a D&D party late and was very loose with the rules and reading up on it, it was kind of there was a whole new world I was being introduced to and all this cool shit that I could do. And much like playing a video game for the first time, I was like, oh, this is really exciting because it's something new and different. And yeah, I want to do all the cool stuff. And I've never gotten to do that before. And so it's why one-shots or little mini campaigns are really nice, so that, yeah, you want to be the most decked out character in this one thing and just, smash through a dungeon.
That
Great.
makes sense.
Go do that and get, I look at it as, I kind of got it out of my system, because then, then I would talk to some of my other friends who all play, and it was like, sometimes, I don't always have to act in the best. Like, I don't have to make the correct decision every time. Like, sometimes, no, my character would probably, like Joey was saying with trauma, there's a reason that this event would actively impact how this character is going to react in the moment. And yeah, on paper, am I able to take my turn this round? Sure. But I just saw something terrible that would genuinely affect me. So I don't know that I can, or I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to fail this and do this thing. And going back to what you said, it's the storytelling part of it. So I like that. Yeah, we could always I could spend the most time making the most technically savvy character. And sure, if it's just a dungeon crawl, then that's cool too. But the story and the collaborative story means so much more to me that these personal moments between characters, the one in-person campaign that I'm not doing anymore, like, one of the other player characters and I, our backstories hadn't been written together, but as we started to play together, like, oh, this could be a really fun, like, hey, here's how I'm gonna leverage. So this is a tragic thing you said about your character's backstory. I'm gonna throw this at her because I want to make her mad. And what I love about all that was the human came to me and said, hey, Emily, this is a thing I'm going to do. And I said, hey, that's a great idea. It'll really upset her. I'm glad you told me before you just did it and made me feel like you were actually yelling at me.
Such a big thing. Like, if you're going to do something like that, to collaborate with the other people at the table.
Yeah. And I think there's a fear of that's going to make the moment feel less genuine or less like it's going to feel scripted, but it really didn't. And it was just because I knew it was coming, I had kind of had a second to process, because you are acting and I'm not a professional actor. I don't do this all the time. So, it's my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh no, this would upset her for this very specific reason. And this is why, she would then do these next few things. And it was fun because then, depending on how we rolled, it was, oh, does she actually hurt her party member, or does he hurt her? And do the other party member step in who didn't know this was coming? And it ended up being such a great moment through the table.
Yeah, that's part of keeping it spontaneous too, is like, between you and that player, you don't have to tell the other people at the table. Let them react. But as long as you two know what's going on, that's all that matters. Like,
and that's
because then you get that natural reaction that you're worried you're not going to get. And when you're worried that you're scripting it, of course you're scripting it. You're telling a story, but you can get the reactions you want just by not letting the other players know.
Yeah, like I was just about to say, like, you shouldn't feel like it's scripted. Like, everyone's always going to feel that way. But you got to remember, we're not writing the whole damn scene. We're not writing the whole dungeon. I'm just telling you an action I'm going to take so that we can work off of it. Because that's important because, like you said, there are some things you can do in game that when someone does it to you, you think, "Oh my god, are you actually mad at me?" When like you really need to talk to them, be like, "Dude, I'm not mad at you. Like, I think this would be really good. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And I love that you were just like, "Oh yeah, that'll make my character super pissed. Let's do it." Like,
But it was such a good moment because they had this very kind of tense relationship and stuff, but the group had slowly been getting more friendly, and because of other elements in this character story, like he is grappling with his own stuff and is a very much like lash out thing. He's like, I'd go after this thing that I know about her. Like that's what I would attack. And I was like, no, that's perfect. And it made sense in the story too, which was very, very cool to me. Like this, and it's all of these interesting social moments that you kind of have to navigate. And this, especially, this is a player that it's not a person I've known for a long time before coming to the table. So I liked the additional us talking to each other before we got into game, just to have an idea of how, like, okay, so what works for you, what's good, what might feel not so good in this. And it's like, I don't actually want to scream at each other, but we can get heated, and that's okay, because I know that we can also then back out of it if we need to.
yep.
There was a moment, and there's been a great conversation going on in one of the Discords. So shameless plug for myself, guested on Dungeons and Dracon Beams. So a character that I'd played in our little offset series, Hork-Bajir Chronicles, came back into main series. And I knew it was coming, and it was something where I was like, okay, so because of the nature of this series, I'm working very directly with the GM, which is great. And because we've got kind of this symbiotic thing for the character anyway, so I'm getting all the backstory. But he's like, okay, these are some of the events that are going to happen, but you'll still have these moments. We'll do some roles, and so there is role play within it. But because I was kind of a GM controlled PC, like,
Okay.
I'm not joining the party unless but again, if something crazy happened and the group acted a certain way, there was a chance that things would have gone differently. But I loved because one of the things that fit with what my character would have done was going to have a very specific impact on one of the other player characters. And it was something that was very triggering for her character and all of these things. And even in the conversations with me, the GM brought up, like, this is something that her and I have talked about as a possible thing where if you really want to fuck up my character, here's what you do, because of this backstory stuff, like this would really, really affect her. And so to their credit, the people in the Discord were chatting like, oh, wow, like that felt like I didn't like how that felt because that was very targeted to this person and, all of this. And everybody got talking about like, nope, the player character who was involved in it understood, the GM and her had talked about it. He and I had talked about it and done these different things. And I felt comfortable like, nope, all of this groundwork has been laid before I'm even getting in here. So I'm not jumping into a situation not knowing what's going on. And it was all handled really beautifully. We still got to have this moment. We still got the surprise of it and the reaction to all of that. But everybody was protected and safe before we went into what could have been a really vulnerable and stressful situation. And I was just like, oh, this is so nice. But also to the credit of the people in Discord being like, hey, are you sure this is okay? Like, is everybody cool with this? I'm like, you should, because there's a chance that this wasn't okay. And calling that out is not a bad thing. So just gonna get off my soapbox on that. But I was really proud of all that. Yeah,
That's
it was really
cool.
nice. It was really,
I like
really
that.
nice.
That is nice. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love all the storytelling. I
I
love it.
RPGs so much.
I love it.
I just love them.
Love 'em. That's fantastic. Oh,
It's
Oh.
so good.
oh, my heart is
I
getting
know.
full. This makes me really excited for our panel at Ithacon.
Yeah.
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 Right up.
For those of you who don't know, Ithacon is April 5th and
Fifth and
6th.
5th and 6th?
April 5th and 6th, which is a Saturday and Sunday at Ithaca College in Ithaca at Ithacon. If you didn't know, it's Ithaca. Anyway, but we are going to be doing a panel on D&D live plays, or what do we call it? Bringing your TTRPG to live. To live, like live.
Something along those lines. I don't remember, man.
Yeah.
It's in the email.
But anyway, we're doing a panel on bringing your D&D games to like the internet space and what it takes and things.
You want to
should
be the
think
next
about.
Critical Role? Listen to us. We're not there, but we could be someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it now, especially with everything we keep talking about, because this is big. I'm excited to hopefully talk about this stuff, and for there to be people in the audience who go, I really connect with that. It's what I'm hoping for. But you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
We could do it, and it could just be a bunch of like college kids who are like, "Oh, I just wanted to sleep." But we'll find out.
I still
It'll be
think,
for us.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, are we planning on recording it or anything?
Yeah.
Is that something?
I love that Joy's like, "Yeah, I got no plan. We ain't got no plan for it, but yeah."
Just because we
certainly
at this
make
point
that
we still have
happen.
a little bit of time to figure that out. But I think that could be a neat thing. Or I guess I mean it's tough because Older and Dumber podcast still has a video component, but
Mhm.
even if we just did separate lav mics or something to record our stuff. But I think in content. So how could we release it as content for people
It's
who can't join us?
possible. I'm thinking in my head right now. First off, we'd need a laptop. I don't think we could bring Joey's whole desktop for it. So
That seems bad.
I could always get the Fortunate Son revved up.
we could always see if we could borrow the laptop from Checkpoint, but I don't think they'll let us do that because they need it for maybe because it's the weekend. I don't know.
Depends if it's Smash Weekend or not.
Yeah. So we would need a laptop. Then we could get all of the mics from the studio. And I mean, essentially, we would just run it just like we do a podcast episode, but it would be one camera and only up to 4 microphones, which currently there's 3 of us, unless we have another person join us. It's possible. I guess the only other problem is whether or not Ithacon they've got to have microphones. So if the microphones, if they go wow 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 on each other or not, I guess that would be the only potential problem. We also asked Ithacon if they're recording them and then just take the footage.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's part of my brain that's like, I thought they were recorded, but then it was maybe just some of them were. I don't know that I pay that close attention when I go on panels, which is probably not good. But
yeah, we could certainly ask, but I'm sure Ithacon won't get back to us until the day before.
Yeah.
But we
yeah,
could certainly email them.
Just an idea, because I think that could be. I do think it is going to be a genuinely good conversation, and my fourth thought on all of it is on the very, very unlikely event that I don't think will happen, but if for some reason nobody shows up, we still get to have a really good conversation and make content from it. So
yeah, we can pretend like there's people in the audience, and we can put in clapping noises and boo noises and
Hunter, I love you.
Exactly. I'll throw in.
We'll have our plants, so there'll at least be a couple people in there.
just bringing a potted ficus and be like, there you go. It's all on you now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But
We'll do
the
questions section, and we'll just do a video of us being like, does anyone have any questions? And then point the camera at a chair that's just one of us sitting in the chair, and then we ask the question, and then it comes back. What a great question. What a great question, you handsome man. And then answer it. It'd be funny.
So, yeah, I like it.
How's it going, guys?
I'm good, man. Whatever.
Good.
I saw Joey drawing a scene, and now I just see him drawing Rara.
Mhm.
Aw. So if for nothing else, we should do it for Onyx, is really what I'm hearing. I'll be there in spirit. Yeah.
Heck yeah, Onyx.
I am reaching that point. I'm reaching the point where I'm about to turn into a pumpkin.
She's got a meeting, a very important business meeting.
I do. I've become a very important businesswoman now, and I have important business meetings.
Oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. I have to send an email to
Onyx, you're going to Syracuse Collectors Con, but you're not coming to Ithacon. Come on, brother.
Wow, brother.
Is the Syracuse Collectors Con happening this year?
Oh, I don't know. Joey just
Onyx shared a link the other day.
Oh, okay. I feel like I got an email about it, but it's been long enough that I hadn't heard anymore, so I didn't know if it was.
I don't know. The Syracuse scene is so turbulent, man. It seems like they have a new show every year, and it's the different people running it.
Yeah. Which it's one of those where it surprises me because it's not like it's a small town.
Yeah, you would think with a venue that size too, like whether it's the fairgrounds or
did you
the dome or whatever
fairgrounds show? Did you
Salt Lake City Con?
Sure.
Was that the fairgrounds one? I liked it. I thought that venue was great. Like it's a big space. They had decent a decent artist alley. They had good celebs. Like I don't,
Okay.
and then it was like one and done.
Weird. Because I think like the time of year it was, the fact that it was the fairgrounds, I'm like, isn't that going to be cold? Like miserable?
Yeah, it was like I don't want to say it was too early in the spring. It was like May, maybe.
Okay. I was say it did snow
End of
today,
April, beginning
so-
of May. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Onyx. Well, thank you for what you did know about it. But I want to see Joey's seed, and then I want to go turn into a pumpkin.
Here, let me make it easier to see.
Oh my goodness, the faces.
Sorry, I just sent that email that Swan
That's good.
reminded me of.
That's good. I'm glad I could help.
Okay, let's take a look. Whoa! Did you just do a little erase reveal?
No, I just locked the lines and went over it with black, so it was easier to see.
Damn, why does Rah Rah's eyes look like Crash Bandicoot from this far away? Yeah, Fizzy!
She's bandicooting.
Dude, Fizzy's dancing, and he's like, dancing for my life.
Yes.
Zoom in on Keith and Moss, though. I can't really.
Sure.
I just want to see it better.
That was not the right tool.
That's not zooming. That's a select tool.
That was not the right tool.
He hits erase. Do you know how to dance? Yes. Either.
so
I love
cute.
it. They're just like staring onto the dancing, and they're just like, yeah, no, not having it.
I love it. That's so fun. Oh, we've gotten to make such good like scenes from this. I'm so happy.
I'm loving it. I love
it.
it. I love content. I
it's
love
good times.
it.
It's good times.
We'll
Okay.
continue to keep uploading to that folder and make sure we share it to Vic. That way,
Yeah, yeah,
once there's pieces that are done, I can start putting the clips to them and try and do some more motion stuff.
Give him the clip.
Give me the clips.
Clip, 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 clip. Yeah. Hey, you want to do quick outros and then head to bed?
Yeah, I'm
Swan, you haven't shared your scene.
so.
Oh, I've
Yes,
drawn
you did.
more. I've drawn
Oh,
more.
you did draw
since
more. You
I
did draw
drew-
more.
I
More
made-
lines.
I made the lines nicer.
Fix his eyeball.
I did. It was really bothering me. I've not fixed that scene yet, though. Where did you get that one? Yeah.
Aw,
Geez,
so wonderful.
he's so cute. Also,
So
that's
wonderful.
kind of
Is that a
bear?
Shiba Inu?
Should be. Yeah. Well, and I realized too, I was like, oh man, she's got longer sleeves like down to her elbows and like gauntlet things, and I was like, there's not a lot of space for these tattoos to show up. So that was my new problem solving thing. But yeah.
Nice.
The tattoos burn the wraps away.
Yeah. Like you see the like it just shifting farther and farther down her wrist. And like it was up here before, now it's down here. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fantastic. I love it. Great job, Swan. Great
Thanks.
job.
It's fun.
It's great too because what you're drawing right now is directly after, hopefully, our secret project. We'll see.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. Like after we did the first round of this, I was just like, it's gonna be so good. More. Yeah, it's awesome. So
All
I'm
right.
excited. Yeah.
Outros, I hear, is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. What's the best way for people to find this content specifically and follow you guys and everything that you're doing?
Okay, so if you want to know and see everything Older and Dumber, you're going to go to your little search tab, no matter what you use, whether it's Bing, who uses Bing, Google, Ask
Edge.
Jeeves, is that even around anymore? Microsoft Edge, whatever it is you use, you're going to go in there, you're going to type a little word, you're going to type in Older and Dumber. Older and Dumber. That's the letter N, not and you're going to be able to find us anywhere on the internet, which will bring you to our YouTube, our Twitch, our Instagram, all kinds of stuff. You know what I realized I forgot to talk about at all today? We have a thumbnail tournament going on right now for the Coralthea Waking Fates campaign, which is what we just talked about all night. So join our Instagram, and every day until the tournament is over, you will see 2 fights that you can vote for the tournament. So join that and look at our Instagram story and please go vote. And on top of that, I also forgot that we have a brand new animated intro that I forgot to play at any point tonight because
Oh my
I'm
god.
ridiculous.
Thanks, Jeff.
But Jeff, you're amazing. Thank you so much for animating our intro.
At Jeff Munn.
Yes, at Jeff Munn. Yeah, Older and Dumber. Go, guys. I'm at the end of my rope.
It's pumpkin time. I know we
That's
started the
okay,
night
Hunter.
on spinach night, but it has become pumpkin time.
Please find us.
Hunter
Well,
and I are hosts of the Older and Dumber podcast. You can find us everywhere on the internet at Older, the letter N, Dumber. You can find me specifically if you're looking for art stuff at Slutty Mage anywhere on the internet. I do NSFW and Safe for Work stuff. So just, be careful before dipping your toes in. Know what to expect.
No, it's gonna.
And
cost
if you
extra for
want
toes.
to watch, it is, that's the Foot Finder content. And if you want to watch the D&D stuff, we're here every Wednesday night, normally in this time slot, doing Coralthea Waking Fates over on twitch.tv/older, the letter N, Dumber.
Nice. Well, hey, thanks for letting me crash your night and celebrate Spinach Day.
You saved our night.
You say saved it.
Nah,
You didn't
it's
have
fun.
any black belts to go after, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh boy.
Hey, if you want to see more of my stuff, it's all across the internet at a Swan named Emily. If you want to see the completed now season 4 of Doodle Crew, that's all over on my YouTube. Like I said, we have completed 4 seasons. We've done 80 episodes of Doodle Crew, which is insane, as well as the interview series that I ran for a while that I'd love to bring back when I have so much more time, which will never happen, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. I do stickers. I make illustrations. I post things sometimes. I guest on a whole bunch of podcasts. Some of them are on hiatus. Some of them are coming back. Some of them just a guest for a little bit. Hopefully enough time to come in, break your heart, and then peace out.
Who knows? Maybe even in the world of Coralthea at some point.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
good.
talk.
Yeah. But yeah, all things at Doodle Crew Draw. I think I've said it before. I've been slowly trying to get my button gear to move all of the posts over to Blue Sky to have them there as well, because I'm not posting them on Twitter anymore. And I want to showcase the amazing art of all the amazing people, which we also have a link tree if you want to find out more about the artists or anything. You can also join the Discord if you want to talk to me and these lovely humans, or join their Discord too, I think, unless that's a Patreon perk.
No.
No, you can
Yeah.
join. Anyone join. Please join the Discord.
Yeah,
Please.
it's a fun time. We
Please.
make plans. Also, final thing with all of this, if you like this type of content, if you like seeing us illustrate these scenes, if you like seeing us talk about D&D and all of that, let us know. Any of us. You can talk to any of us. I don't care who. I think we'll talk to each other probably. I get the feeling that we all enjoy it and we keep doing it. So if it's something y'all enjoy, then we'd love to keep coming back and doing that. So, yeah, this is good. Hopefully in Carter and May and all the other dipshits enjoy this. God,
Yeah.
I almost said dumbasses. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
No, you got it. You nailed it.
it.
We did it. Thank you all. You're wonderful. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.